Good evening, Tiger Nation, and welcome to another segment of Keeping Your Eyes on the Tigers. First of all, I'd like to tell everyone Merry Christmas, and to all our military that's far away from home in war zones or just on station somewhere. I'd like to tell you also Merry Christmas and Happy New Year's. You know, we had a wonderful game Saturday night against Southeast Missouri. It was a great home game for really both teams. And the reason why I say that is because both teams had a whole bunch of players on it that was from Memphis. That's right, the Tigers had 8 players and Southeast Missouri had 5. But you know, it was a very exciting game. You know, for the first 10 minutes of the game, both teams traded baskets all for back-to-back. One would go down and the other one would go down and score. And it went on like that until about the 10:44 point when Chris Crawford shot one of his dynamic threes. Although Chris has been off a little bit, but there's one thing about it, like the coach says all the time: just keep shooting, Chris. Just keep shooting. You'll get there. Chris was something like I think Chris was 2 for 13 or something like that. But overall, the Tigers had an excellent first half. Joe Jackson had a good first half. Joe scored 12 points in the first half, and they just went on. They fought hard and fought hard and fought hard, and it was one thing about it. They kept on fighting, and when they went into halftime, they had an 8-point lead up on those Red Bears or whatever they were. They wasn't no Cardinals. But you know, when they came out that second half, they came out with the Shaq and Palin show. Shaq came out and Shaq scored 20 points out of the whole game. He had 20 points and 8 rebounds. I mean, Shaq was just outstanding. And Palin also came along and added 8 points onto that, although he didn't get nothing but 1 point. 1 rebound, you know, but the Tigers, they fought hard. They fought hard. They kept on fighting, and that's one thing I like about this team so far this year. They got the kill instinct in them. They will fight till the very end. But it's one thing that I'm looking at is I'm hoping that over the Christmas break that they can start focusing on defense and rebounding. You know, they did pretty good. They forced Southeast Missouri into 19 turnovers, and it was 24 points scored on those 19 turnovers. But it's one thing that I'm looking at is this team has allowed their opponents to average about a 40% shooting ratio on them, and the team of last year only allowed most of their opponents to only score 30% against them, and they need to do something, as well as they were out rebound. What were they out rebound? I believe they was out rebound by 8. They was like 39 to 31 rebounds. So they was out rebound by 8 rebounds. And as I was saying last week, it was, we need our guys to participate and hit those boards as well. And this week, in this game, they did good. All 4 of the guards had at least 4 to 3 rebounds. So they put in, but we need more participation out of them, as well as we need more participation out of our big men. You know, as I spoke on the last game, I was saying Nicholas needs to just come along, let the coach bring him off the game. Well, I was listening to the post-game show, and the coach was talking about, he was asked why Nicholas didn't play the second half, and he was saying, as we know, most freshmen have that freshman wall that they'll run into, and I'm so glad that he's running into it early in the season before we get ready to go into conference time. Because as you know, conference is coming up really in next week, in the next 2 weeks really. But overall, this was an excellent game. We need to improve on our 3-point shooting. You know, we only had 2 shots, 2 made 3-pointers, and both of those were done by Chris Crawford. Also, speaking of Chris Crawford, if you would go to YouTube and you would check, let's see, where was that I put? Go to YouTube and do a search for Memphis Tigers versus SEMO on 12/21/2013. The Tigers got an outstanding video. It should be the play of the year, where right after one of where Chris found a 3-pointer in the second half. They were going back and setting up for defense, and they stole the ball. Well, once upon stealing the ball, Dixon had the ball, and he threw the ball over his head down the court. And Johnson picked up the ball. Johnson and Chris Crawford was coming down the court. Johnson caught the ball, and he flipped the ball behind his back to Chris Crawford for a 3. But instead of Chris doing that, he saw Shaq coming down, and he did an alley-oop to Shaq, and he made it was a dynamite slam dunk. But the Tigers are coming along. We are just in the early stages, and we're getting ready to go into the conference time now, and we're just looking forward to this second half coming up after Christmas. As you know, next Saturday on the 28th at 11 a.m., the Tigers will be playing JSU. Yeah, that's right, Jackson State University from Jackson, Mississippi. But you know, make sure that you tune into them, and don't do like me. I had to search around all over the network and all over the world trying to catch this game last Saturday. But you keep your eyes on the Tigers, and looking forward to seeing you after Christmas. And as I said, Merry Christmas to all of y'all, and just keep your eyes on the Tigers and come back and be with us after the game on the 28th of December. Looking forward to seeing you again, and keep your eyes on the Tigers. Bye now.